Welcome to another episode of Follow My Voice, Quote Edition. Today's quote is, "The future is already here. It is just not evenly distributed yet." Future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. So where this quote came from was that anytime there's new technology, whether it was the first iPhone, flat screen TVs when they first came out, even old school, if you go back to the first DVD, first cassettes, first cars, and nowadays with modern technology, maybe the first virtual reality headsets, the first Teslas, the first anything that's cutting edge. The rich people always get it first. Just, money's not necessarily evil, but money does help you buy experiences. So, where this quote came from, I was listening to a lecture where the speaker said, "The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet." And so let's take a step back to think, if you live in the United States, a lot of times we do get technology here a little faster than, times are changing, but in the past it used to be that Hollywood movies came out here and then some time would pass and they would get translated or dubbed and then they would get released in another country and there'd be a little bit of a gap. Nowadays we live in a world where movies can be simultaneously released all across the planet on the same day in different languages, dubbed, subtitled, whatever. So the future is already here, but it's not evenly distributed yet. If you're a rural farmer in a country where you make $1 a day, you were upgraded to a minimum wage U.S. job, let's go with 15, could be anything, could be less, could be more, doesn't matter. Suddenly you'd feel like you got transported to the future because your buying power would have skyrocketed compared to what you used to be able to buy. Simultaneously, if you're making $100,000 a year and got upgraded to $1 million, you get more access to the latest technology. Is it fair? Probably not. But the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. How about cars? Most countries have now overpopulated with cars. Doesn't matter what, even, I don't want to say third world, but any country, it doesn't matter. Let's not make a judgment call. No country is really better than any other. That's a figment of our imagination, but there was a time when only the countries that had more GDP or buying power had cars. Now everyone's got a car. Or every country's got cars, not everyone. But let's talk about the people who do have cars all around the world. Future's already here, it's just not evenly distributed yet. What's coming up next to prove this point? 5G is a big one. 5G is the latest cell phone technology. It's going to change our world. High-speed internet speeds from our phone. It's going to make 4G feel like we were in the Stone Age, or for those of us that remember 2G. Ugh. Remember those days? Even 3G is terrible. Sometimes you get downgraded to 3G and you might throw a fit. This ain't fair. Why do I have to deal with this? This is terrible. Future's already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. What about people that don't even have 2G today? Or don't even have a cell phone? 2G would be the future to them. 5G would feel like someone time traveled from the future and came to the past. That's why I like travel. Travel to a lot of countries, and when you see people in a country, a family, gathered around a little cell phone to watch TV, but they don't actually own a TV. Their TV is the cell phone, and there's only one for the family, and they gather around and watch it. And those of us in other countries, we have multiple TVs in our homes, plus a laptop, plus a computer, plus a desktop, plus a phone, plus a tablet, and whatever the heck else has a screen on it these days. Future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. It's powerful. Makes you think. I know I take a lot of things for granted. Not gonna lie. Yet, that family I described could be happier than me. Could be happier than us. We have so much more. Let's let that sink in. How are they happier? You got multiple screens, tablet, computer, TV. How are they happier? I thought the future was already here. It's not evenly distributed. Maybe not. Technology's not evenly distributed, but that doesn't mean that those of us that were fortunate enough to be born into places, because it's not even countries, there's poor people in every country, born into places, and there's rich people in every country too, born into places where they have access to the best technology, they're not necessarily happier. Perhaps happiness is not evenly distributed yet either. Future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. Who knows what's coming up after 5G? Maybe full immersion virtual technology, or if you look at Musk, he's already working on Google it. Chips implanted into our brains. Who's going to get that first? Going back to how this topic started. Those with the financial wherewithal to get it first are going to get it first. Future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. But does that mean they'll be happier than those who have not been, quote unquote, evenly distributed the future, end quote? They might not be happier. In fact, they might be more miserable because the future got to them first. So just because the future is already here and it's not evenly distributed yet, does not mean that those who got the disproportionate distribution of the future technology are happier. In fact, they're probably not happier. So do you want to have the best technology but be unhappy? Or do you want to have none of the technology and be happy? Or do you want to have none of the technology and none of the happiness? Or could you have all the technology and the happiness? I say could because there's a lot of people that have it and they're not happy. The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. And neither is happiness. Some deep thought today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe or give it a tiny little like if you had some deep thoughts today. Hit that notification icon and stay tuned for the next quote we'll deep dive into. Future's already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet. Wonder what's next.